my channel. Good to talk to you once again. I do have to apologize, guys, because I did not make a content for a pretty long significant time, and the reason, guys, I did not feel good. I was kind of a real darn bad sick, and I could not stand up and play any kind of game. I was just in my bed most of the time and took all my pills and medicines and stuff like that. I really feel so darn bad. I cannot remember other days or other time that I felt worse. Absolutely ridiculous, painful, and fever, you name it. And man, it takes ages and did not go away. So today, guys, very short, I'd like to talk about my to-go ships, and I probably mention around 8 ships. Most it's because they are kind of a strong broken, and also you have to shall I say, those ships I very much like to say, don't matter if you're underdog or a top dog, does not quite matter. They are so darn strong, and I believe they are, yes, you may call it overpower or something like that. Now, the Giulio Cesare, it's definitely the first pick. And guys, even though we're gonna have the Italian battleships soon, the Sigma and how shells are close to each other, it won't be Cesare's shells and Dispersion and Sigma. It will almost be like Roma's Sigma. It's all over the place, and cross the finger and hope for the best. That's the new Italian battleship for you. On the other hand, they have this stupid sap. I have no idea how will they control, because let's face it, if you are playing Italian battleship and you see a cruiser, as long as you have sap, you will pan her for days and you blap him. Probably me 1 salvo or most 2 salvos if you can hit, that's the thing. Of course, she's not crazy strong in armor. Her biggest weakness is of course the AA. But on the other hand, guys, and that's the main question, and probably it's always will be also for the entire battleship line, this thing turns as a cruiser. It's a huge big damn battleship, but she turns as a damn good cruiser. She's the most maneuverable tier 5 battleship in this game, and with best accuracy of all tier 5 battleships. Guns, these guns are not from this earth good, and guys, that's the combination. Agile, easy to avoid all those torpedoes, and you hit everything you aim pretty damn reliable, and that's the biggest strength about this ship. You don't cross the finger and hope for the best. You will, if you know how to aim, always hit your target, even a small damn destroyer. Of course, guys, the downside, it's kind of a bad in AA, but you cannot have everything. This is my definitely to-go ship. And another one, guys, I always loved her, and I know the truth is the entire Japanese destroyer has been power crept, and they have nerfed, Wargaming has nerfed them, but what is remaining is this behemoth with absolutely god like I'm talking about turning radius, speed, and concealment. Guys, the truth is about this ship, it's broken as all hell, because you can spam those very little torpedo. They looks harmless, but the thing is, they are most deadliest torpedoes in the entire game, tier for tier. And I'm talking about tier 5. You cannot find any other torpedo. I mean, let's say if you just put it this way, if you're full HP battleship, if you receive 0 damage, you eat all 6 torpedoes, you're dead. This is so broken. Yes, they can blap you if you have a little bit bad RNG and stuff like that. You don't want to eat at maximum 3 torpedo. If you eat more than 3, then you're big trouble. If you eat all 6, then it's goodbye. And guys, it is agile. It's literally turns on a dime. It's probably the best tier 5 torpedo boat in this game. And seriously, guys, the downside, of course, it's the guns are mediocre and 0 AA. But you has to be some kind of balancing factor. You know, AA, what AA? You have 0 in AA for crying out loud. So, the tier 5. For the tier 6, I would like to say there are very interesting battleships at tier 6, but are they really my to-go ships? Not quite, guys, serious. But there is one bugger that I always visit. I'm talking about the tier 6. There is a tier 6 destroyer, guys, that I enjoyed like crazy, and probably not many of you pay attention, but the truth is about this destroyer, why I'm visiting and why I think it's extremely strong. It has pretty damn good tools. I'm talking about she has the best tier 4 gun. It's almost as a Gremyash's guns, for crying out loud. It's a Soviet guns, and of course, guys, her gimmick, it does have only deep water torps. Shall I put some good looking camo maybe? Alright. The UI, it's okay, we put a US because why the hell not? So her strength, guys, it's definitely her guns, and also torpedo are 8 km, and her concealment, it's the Fubuki level of concealment, 6.1. But if you're a Fubuki, you don't want to gunfight this thing. Sure, you can give her some good looking salvos in return, you know, but on the other hand, this will kill you with guns alone. But the gaming sense, the reason number one I very much like to play this ship, it's of two reasons. One, you have smoke on demand. What is smoke on demand? The smoke, guys, it's absolutely ridiculous strong in the Pain Destroyer. Pain Asian Destroyer. You have 5 charges and only a reload in 100 seconds, so it's not something crazy. But on the other hand, its action time is 30 seconds and smoke screen dispersion time is 70. So I do honestly believe it's around, I don't know, 30 seconds ish between the smokes, and you have 5 of them. You cannot stay in the smoke forever, but what I'm trying to say, it's in my honest opinion, this is by far one of the best smoke at this tier. And of course, guys, the truth is you have pretty damn good guns, 870 meters per second, 14.3 kilometers. It's not bad for tier 6. You may argue there are in some ways better torpedo boats and better gun boats, but this thing is a hybrid, a very good. I mean, the torpedoes are not crazy, you only have 6 of them, but they hit very hard if you can land and stuff like that. But the main gimmick about this ship, it's definitely you have edge versus many other tier 6 destroyer, because you do have better guns and better range and better shells arc. So all this combination with very good looking smoke makes this one of my to-go tier 6 destroyer. And you have easy to land all those shells to your enemy. You will put your enemy on fire, that's for damn sure. So even though the torpedo are limited, I mean, you only have 6 and your deep water torps, but I do honestly believe it's annoying as all hell to face this thing, which they can shell you in the smoke, and several smoke in the entire game, because 5 smoke, it's not bad. So it is also a good boat. Now the tier 6, it is a very unusual destroyer. You have a lot of firepower. You have almost Clemson's level of firepower, which I know it doesn't sound a lot, but the truth is, guys, and this is the difference between this one and all the rest of the Pain or Swedish destroyer. This is a fast. This is probably one of the fastest Swedish destroyer in this game by far, faster than Halland, faster than Östergötland, and so on. Maneuverably, you see here 38 knots, and this is without speed boost. 38 knots and 590 meters turning radius, and rudder shift 2.4. And guys, this is without the speed boost and the speed flag. I honestly believe, guys, that you will definitely reach over 40 with speed boost, which Holland and Östergötland can only dream about. So I'm not saying that this is particularly strong destroyer, but I do like her torpedo. The torpedo are not bad. The torpedo are, of course, 10 kilometers, 68 knots. It's pretty damn good, and you have 6 of them. But the truth is, they reload pretty fast. Reload time 53.1 seconds. Sure, they don't deal a whole lot of damage, but I believe that she's in right hands pretty nasty, good looking destroyer. Now the tier 7. Oh lord, I used to, of course, love the tier 7 a lot, guys, but the truth is, and the sad part is, that Wargaming kind of a screw the tier 7 matchmaking. I used to definitely play the Scharnhorst a lot, but guys, I still believe the Scharnhorst, it's great battleship. I do like her a lot. She's tanky, she's fun, fast reload. She's very good dealing with all other crews, and she kind of struggled to deal with real battleship. But the biggest downside with this ship, when she's facing tier 9s like Alaska, like Aegir and all those, oh man, she is on the other end, on the losing side. I mean, seriously, your reload, it's fantastic, but not so good fantastic versus Alaska's guns. And same story with she facing so many tier 9s battleships. It's not fun, guys. It's not fun to play a Scharnhorst versus any tier 9 battleship. The tier 9 battleship just shit on your armor and shit on your angle. That's the problem, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's rough as all hell. I mean, seriously, guys, I think that Belfast, it's a good looking ship, and she's strong as all hell. And same story with the Fiji, which I highly recommend you to grind. But the problem is that same story, if you're facing any tier 8 or tier 9 battleship, then you're not so damn strong. The limitation is, of course, guys, her range and stuff. But guys, this used to be, when you're playing tier 7 a couple years ago, you always top dog, and now it's the other way around. You're almost always underdog, and that's the thing. They are screwing and tier 7 premiums. And remember, guys, that Wargaming decided to buff the tier 8 cruisers, heavy cruisers versus line cruisers. So from tier 7 to tier 8, it's already been a jump in armor in cruisers wise, but not versus light cruisers. So yeah, I mean, sure, don't get me wrong, guys, this is a very good looking and strong ship, but when you're always facing +2 in matchmaking, you're underdog, there's a very little limitation of what the hell you do, because remember, they do have crazy good range, and your range of your main armor, it's limited at 15.6 kilometers, you know what I mean? So yeah, and same story. And also I find this ship is strong, but not versus a CV. When the CV see a Belfast, okay, I'll punish you. And remember, guys, that I felt really darn bad in one engagement that CV was focused me in the entire game, and of course I died. I mean, even though the Belfast has not the worst AA cruiser of all, it has a limitation even versus tier 8, you know what I mean? Sure, you can never face a tier 10, thanks God, but even a tier 8 CV can ruin your day and make sure that your ship, it's very questionable when you're trying to come closer to your enemy. But of course, guys, she's still a powerhouse. She's still a good ship. I highly recommend you to have her in your port. But the problem is the stupid matchmaking. Seriously. And there's, guys, something that I call power creep. And same thing with the Nagato, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, Nagato, man. But the only problem I have with this ship, the aim is all over the place. You cross the finger and hope for the best, guys. I mean, it could work sometimes, but I don't feel that the guns are reliable, you know. That's the sad part. And then it's a tier 7 battleship armor versus tier 8 battleships armor. Of course, guys, my to-go tier 7 battleship, and this is probably so ridiculous strong battleship, even though remember guys, even though you're underdog, even though you're facing versus tier 8 and versus tier 9, this is the only battleship you can handle. I mean, you can hurt this one, but this one can hurt you back. So even though it's 2 tier lower than you, it has punchy guns as all hell, and at close range you cannot harm him, but he can harm you. So what I'm trying to say, there are few battleship that it's so strong, as extremely strong, so they don't give a shit about your underdog -2 in matchmaking, and this is probably one of the strongest tier 7 battleships, because guys, the guns are not a joke. The AA, it's not bad, nothing is bad about this, especially not the armor. You may argue the limitation about this ship, it's definitely her accuracy from long range, and the range, it's definitely something to come. But otherwise, man, she is a my to-go tier 7 battleship. Crazy strong, almost too strong in my honest opinion, thanks to this stupid good armor and pretty damn good AA, guys. Yeah, go that figure. 69 in AA. Yeah. So guys, today I'm thinking to share with you the tier 8 battleship, which I do really like it. Not the Kansas, because I researched the Kansas. I received this one for free, but I never played her once. I never had the opportunity to play her once, not one. But guys, the reason I very much to show you, it's that the sister ship from another mother, I definitely would like to say that she's a crazy good. And then of course it's the USS Massachusetts. Guys, the reason I like this ship is that she has unusually good heal, not a regular Kansas heal, much better heal. You have good secondary, you have probably one of the best tier 8 AA. Yes, you do. I mean, I have 91 without captains. Of course, I have close to 100 in AA when I have my full secondary. I do play this ship just to receive my daily containers and stuff. Even a coup battle, it's so much fun. I mean, you can rack up 200,000 damage, even a coup battle, for crying out loud, because those guns are really darn good. And sure, the Sigma can troll you, but overall, guys, I would like to say that the Mass, it's not a bad ship. She's crazy strong, and I do like her. And to be honest with you, when she is top dog, when she facing tier 7s and tier 6, oh man, I really feel sorry for them, because right angle, right everything, there are very little they can do, but you can definitely blap everything. And that's the reason the US Massachusetts has proper US hard-hitting guns. It is 16 shells guns. I do believe it's 16 inch. I do believe so. Of course, guys, the limitation is it's that you don't have range. But guys, you're doing something wrong if you're going for the range. You want to come close. The closer you are, the better you are. Sure, the secondary, guys, it's not that you will pen, but you can do some fires. But guys, this is absolutely ridiculous strong versus destroyers or any light cruisers. You will melt them because they have very accurate secondary. Yeah, I do like her. She's amazing. And for that reason, for the secondary build, also like the Bismarck. She's tanky and fun as all hell. The downside with her, guys, it's definitely the few lacking firepower, but the secondary definitely it makes the difference. And she's much more tankier. She's much more harder to kill than, let's say, US Massachusetts. But overall, guys, the downside with Bismarck versus Mass is definitely her AA. Some Japanese CV, when you see Tirpitz and Bismarck, you say, let's find some AP bombs. And a couple drops later, you are all gone. they're never gonna go versus Alabama or Massachusetts. Sure they can do, but then they'll lose all the damn planes. So yeah, but overall, guys, it's fun as all. And then of course it's also the Odin. Odin, guys, I feel she's strong. The downsides with her, it's definitely, guys, the low HP pool. But she has too much tools. I mean, she has torpedoes, she has hydro, she has pretty damn good AA. I do believe what's kind of a defense 77. Yeah, I mean, depending on your build and stuff like that, but she's not a bad ship. Don't get me wrong, you cannot tank forever because your HP pool it's much lower than, let's say, any other tier 8 battleship. You're significant less HP pool, and that is her biggest weakness, you know what I mean? But I still believe in the right hands this is not a bad ship. I mean, you don't want to brawl this thing, and even though you're not crazy in AA defense or secondary like let's say Massachusetts or Bismarck, but her secondary is also close to 10 point something kilometers, so it's not, you know, secondary are not bad. 10 point something, it's something pretty damn good. But guys, my to-go tier 8 ship, and many reasons I do like her like crazy, is the Akizuki. What's so special about Akizuki, guys? It's that she's turns as a slug. It's a slug and kind of a big ship, but her A, it's not bad. If you know how to abuse this T and O reinforcement, you can definitely more than defend yourself. Of all tier 8 destroyer, I honestly believe that Akizuki and Kid are the strongest in AA department. And you as a CV, you can try to nuke her and you may find some success. But when a player knows when to press T and that it's AA to stop, and when you press a reinforcement you can juke this back and forth, you actually can have upper hands versus CV. And when they turn back to counter strike you, well, the planes are no more, because Aki's with my build, I have advanced fire train, I have BFT, I have everything. So what kind of AA I have? 62, but then I have reinforcement, stuff like that. So the truth is, what I like this ship is not just because AA. Is the guns. I mean, if you are a tier 8, I don't know, Cossack, sure, you do have a lot of firepower, but not sure you're gonna win versus Aki one-on-one. Don't get me wrong, Cossack, it's a perfect gunboat build, so it's not a easy win. But if you're, let's say, Kagero, or just forget it, don't fight this thing, you will always lose. So that's the strength about this ship. You can definitely want to get engaged and fight other destroyers. And of course, guys, you have alright-ish torpedo with the torpedo reload. You're never gonna do a lot of damage with the torpedo. It's just bonus. But guys, this is something that I kind of forgot. My range is 1000 meters per second, 2.7 reload time, and 15 kilometers range. Yeah, when you prep the smoke and there's incoming battleships trying to push, maybe he's dead before he turned away and sailed the hell out of there. You will put a lot. I don't have IFHE, by the way. But even if you don't, the pen, it's fantastic. This wargame decide to buff the 100mm guns, and they do have, I do believe, 30mm of penetration. It's not crazy strong, because some part of the battleship they are 32, but you have to aim for superstructure and stuff like that, and you will put your enemy on fire, and you will, you know. you will shadow that battleship. It's regretting his life to playing a battleship. Seriously, when I'm playing Akizuki, I always feel sorry for all those battleships. Sure, don't get me wrong, the trick is, and this is probably the downside with this ship, it's kind of a big and large, and if you put the smoke and there's Cleveland and any radar cruiser coming close to you, then you're kind of a screwed, because you have too few speed. You don't have any speed whatsoever to disengage. But guys, no more talk, let's go back to tier 9. My tier 9 to go ship, it's definitely a cruiser, a huge damn cruiser. And I know it sounds weird, guys, but this is my to go ship of all tier 9 ships. I really like her. She's not a DPM monster, she's more like an alpha, huge damage. But the biggest problem with this ship is that even, let's say, if you are a Bismarck, if you are any tier 8 or tier 9 battleships, no matter where she hits, the AP can be huge damn big salvo. I have done once, there was 2 Bismarck, I remember that gameplay, 2 pretty healthy Bismarcks. They were close to each other, and one turn right on the Iceland, one turn left, and they came one by one. I was killing them, both of them. Why? It's that because those stupid Alaska's guns can hurt. The most damage I ever done in my Alaska's gameplay, I was 35,000 damage to one cruiser. One salvo alone, 35,000. So man, what the hell you want to play a battleship when this thing can hurt as much as a battleship? And even if you're, let's say, a Bismarck with very good armor, it's a huge damn superstructure, and always have upper hand, because let's face it, if you have any kind of angle, you still have 6 guns, and the Bismarck has only 4 guns. And that's the biggest weakness, guys, with the Germans. They have too few guns in the front, and big, large super cruisers and superstructure, I mean. So she's a crazy good maneuver. I mean, I don't have the concealment, but my concealment is bad, but my turning rate is 850 and rudder shift 6.3. This is close to destroyer level of a rudder shift, for crying out. I literally, from, let's say if I'm playing 17 kilometers from a battleship, and the battleships say, oh, there's Alaska, let's kill it, let's nuke him. With my rudder, I don't have the concealment module, but with my double rudder, never gonna happen. You're never gonna kill me, because as you think I can show you broadside, I can turn back while the shells are in the air, and they're not gonna hit me for a damn thing. So I highly recommend. Let's go to my equipment. So my equipment for Alaska, it's the main armor modification to the improved survival radar plus 20% in action time. Of course you need this. This is all about aiming system modification too. And over here, guys, I do have the steering gearing modification 2 and steering gearing modification 2 and 1 and 2, so double rudder, which makes this ship one of the most maneuverable, big, huge, large battleship at tier 9. And it always, shall I say, even though, listen, my concealment are so bad, I am probably one of the worst concealment of all. 13.5, it's really bad. It's even some battleships have better concealment than me. But for me, it's much more important that I can juke left and right the incoming shells than be a good concealment, because I do honestly believe from long range it's gonna save your butt at the end. And of course, guys, I'll very much like to say Georgia, it's not bad, really good, solid ship. I do like her secondary and definitely very hard-hitting punchy guns. And if you think that your bow on versus Georgia, think again, especially if you're a cruiser, because it can definitely overmatch your bow and deal significant damage. Her AA, it's fantastic. Her heal, it's fantastic. And the best of all, this behemoth of ship, it's the fastest tier 9 battleship at tier 9 with this stupid improved. Oh man, even the destroyer have hard to catch up and torpedo you. I remember one time I was chasing, and I did not knew a Benham. Oh man, he really tried, poor devil, to torpedo me. But guys, I had more speed than him, so he was not easy because I was sailing away from him. So to be able to torpedo me, even though the Benham, it's the best torpedo boat in the entire game, he had difficult to do it because he had to come way closer to me and not give him the position, but I definitely could see the torpedo. And because I was sailing away from him, man, he was really hard time to catch me and deal any kind of damage, because I have the speed boost on, and I was, you know, just hit the road, Jack, and come no more. You know, that's a really fun ship, and I honestly believe it's extremely good ship. She has weakness. Her armor, it's not big, and the biggest downside with this ship, it's a huge damn superstructure. You will eat a lot of HE spamming left and right, and it is what it is, guys, seriously. And then I will stop at the Fletcher. I believe it's my to-go ship. Definitely always been my beloved Fletcher. Now you definitely know what kind of ships, and the reason very short. It's a perfect hybrid. It's a perfect torpedo boat, smoke boat, gun boat, you name it. You're never gonna hit very good of your shells from more than 10 or 11 kilometers away, but you have so good tools. The best tools is definitely those torpedo. You can create such good looking torpedo wall, and that's the strength about this. It has very good concealment on the torpedo, very fast, and they hit like absolutely truck. If you eat a couple of Fletcher's torp, you might actually die. If you eat all 10, it's goodbye. Seriously. The truth is, what I like about this ship, it's two things. One, has the best smoke, the best turning radius, the best rudder ship of all tier 9 ships. Absolutely, she turns on the dime. It's very hard if you uke left and right even to aim and shoot and kill this Fletcher. And the second one, it's, even though it's a limitation only 10.5 kilometers, I honestly believe of all tier 9 destroyers, this thing has the best torpedoes. Yes, you heard me right. This thing absolutely has the best torpedoes. Not because you have a lot of them, but 10, it's good enough, and it's so hard hitting, and they are so good concealment. So most of the damage are not from your Daka guns, it's actually from your torpedo boat. And how fast do I reload my torpedoes? I reload in 81.1 seconds. It's actually only a couple seconds, 1 or 2 seconds behind Östergötland. But Östergötland's torpedo only 8, and they don't do a whole lot of damage. But this thing, oh man, they are not tickling you or killing you. So guys, thanks guys for watching, guys. Let me know in a comment below what you think about all those ships. Which one do you familiar, and which one do you think it's kind of a fun, and which one do you enjoy your battles? Have a good one, guys. Take care and bye.